XM18 or 0562? Which is the better of the two? How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another video. And I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, but I wanted to gather more info about both of these wonderful blades, both designed by Rick Hinderer, one being from his brand, right? Hinderer knives, an iconic XM18, but nonetheless also a flagship of zero tolerance, the 0562 full titanium, both in 20 CV, both in titanium, one with G10 and titanium liners. So very similar, and I've seen these two being compared over and over, and we cannot deny their origin, right? It's obvious in the DNA of both of them. But if you ask me, and that's why you're here, they are entirely different beasts, one from the other. They may have a similar DNA, but at the same time, and when put to work, they are very different beasts. So let's just take a small ride into the world of Hinderer, shall we? And so that we see just a few differences, but that those small differences may make you decide to go one way or the other. Let me just start by saying you can't go wrong with either one of these knives. So the 0562, the zero tolerance, is just a couple of millimeters, taking into consideration the clip, but it's just a couple of millimeters, and I mean a couple, 2 millimeters, 1.5 millimeters longer than the XM18. At the same time, well, one is has a finger choil, the XM18. Of course, if we had the no choil, the flipper XM18, both blades would be around the same length. Another difference that we may find here is in the stock thickness. Though it is a minimum, let's put it 2 inches, and let's see, 150 thousandths, 160 thousandths, so a difference of 10 thousandths, and that's also going to reflect behind the edge. So 20 thousandths, so it says 20 thousandths. Ten thousandths? I don't think so. Let me see. No, that was the wrong button. Okay. Between 20 and 30 thousandths, let's just call it 22 thousandths, I would say. So that's going to reflect also another thing that's going to be different is the width of the blade. And how is that going to reflect 100 and taking the thickest point, that would be 126 thousandths. And over here we're gonna go right there, 113 thousandths. So that's a pretty big difference. Why is that important? Because that helps the blade grind taper down into a nicer grind, a slicer. As you know, this would be the slicer grind, and just a normal spear point grind. We'll also see a few differences in the hardware, and we're going to see a difference in the portability. The 0562 is going to be a deep carry portable knife, while the XM18 is not. It really doesn't matter to me, but it might to some of you. Now, how about weight? Let me see, let's put this in ounces. There we go. Ounces, and we go with the XM18, 5.33 ounces, 5.33 ounces, 5.33, 5.40. So the zero tolerance is just a bit heavier. It also seems, and it looks just a bit bigger overall. Of course, one of the things that we may like more about the XM18 is the way it deploys, especially if it's running on bearings. This uses the tri-way, so you can switch between bearings and I forgot, it slipped my mind. Anyways, zero tolerance runs on bearings, and I have mine running on washers, on Teflon washers. So I do prefer the Teflon washers for hard use knives, and I just love how they age. This is, I had a Gen 4 XM18 in Teflon washers, and man, did that thing was smooth, really smooth. So I like how they age, and just for hard use is better in my case. But then again, you know, you have that action that washers, that bearings give you, and both of them really are hard use knives. If you saw the last video I did on maintenance to the zero tolerance 393 of a follower, man, that folder was put through hell, and I redid the edge, sharpened it, and reprofiled the edge, sharpened it, and gave a good cleaning to it, and it came out, if not like new, better than new, really. So I was so surprised and so happy about it, because it just comes to prove how this knives and this brand has done so many things right with these type of knives, with these type of folders, and something that we all wish they went back to the roots But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. Now, the zero tolerance, the 0562, is going to be a bit more, it's going to slice a bit better. And in this case, it's going to have more edge. Like I said, if you get the one with the flipper, without the finger choke, you're going to get the same edge, about the same edge. But still, the stock thickness is going to help the XM18 to be a much harder use knife than the zero tolerance. And that's, I don't mean that to take anything away from the zero tolerance, because, you know, for hard use, and I'm thinking different scenarios, I don't think this thing would fail you in a normal use, a normal sense, you know, not irrational things like spine whacking, but it's good to know. But you know, we're really not going to spine whack any of our folders at any point, unless for some testing, right? So both of these brands are two of my favorite brands, and I cannot recommend them enough, really. So which one would you keep, Professor? Well, if we talk about ergonomics, I think the 0562, you gotta get past the detent. There we go. The 0562 is a bit more comfortable. It really is, at least in my hand. And let's just remember that we all have different hands. I'm not saying that the XM18 is uncomfortable, but it's just a bit more comfortable. Now, in deploying the blade, yeah, the XM18 has that quality that the zero tolerance really has to break in to be able to open with the stop pins or the thumb studs. This one is well broken in, and so I can open it that way. I cannot spidey flick, of course, but you know, that doesn't really matter to me. To some people will, but anyways, and this is running on Teflon washers, so, and I can deploy it with a spidey flick or with my thumb, with the thumb roll, and it's just a smooth action. The XM18 has this area is sometimes a bit uncomfortable to get to, you know. It's I might take a Dremel and just take part of the G10 out right there, so you can see where is my teacher pencil. Right there. That G10 is a bit uncomfortable sometimes. So as to being, yeah, you can reach it. You can reach the frame lock without any problems, and it has jimping. So, but it's just kind of uncomfortable sometimes. Whereas we don't have that problem with the 0562, where the frame lock bar sticks out just a bit, and that's, I think, how it should be done. Does CT make a better Hinderer than Hinderer? I don't think that's an appropriate way to put it. And here you can see the jimping sticks out just a bit, but this part is just, you know, ever so slightly uncomfortable. So I might do something there. But anyways, which one would I keep? This was my first Grail. Not to say that I have had any other Grails. I've just had different pieces that I wanted to collect, to try out, and I've been lucky enough to be able to do so. But this is like a full entrance into the knife world for me when I was able to get it, to buy it off MC. And not only that, but it took 1 year to get to my hands, and that has been one of the longest, if not the longest, I've waited for a knife, at least to get here. I had already bought it, but because of wanted to make sure that it was going to arrive to my hands, get to my hands, it took a year. And because of that, I would keep the XM18. But this is one of my all-time favorite knives, the 0562. It's good all around. It performs very well. It's a better slicer than the XM18, and it has the strength. It has the strength to withstand most of the things that you throw at it. Of course, the XM18 is going to be stronger. That is for sure. But you just can't go wrong with either one of them. The question is, which one do you prefer? And if you're able to keep both, I suggest you keep both and put them through the ringer and see and experience the differences between these two wonderful models from Rick Hinderer. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Professor EDC out.